Um, something I'm not too sure about what will be delivered good is Kraven the Hunter. We just watched the trailer. What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, I can see why it's R-rated. It does
absolutely.
look pretty like vicious and bloody.
Yeah.
I think, what's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Mhm.
I think he looks really good as Kraven, just, the look wise.
Yeah.
Not quite sold on his voice. His voice still sounds pretty,
Mhm.
not quite low, but like just normal. Like you didn't try to put on like a gruff sort of voice. But it's Sony, and I don't know what the obsession is with making spin-offs based on villains. We've got Morbius and Venom.
It's good. I think it's because they only have those at their disposal because it's just Spider-Man. That's all they have. So you get him and his villains.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you also have, the whole Spider-Verse. You got Miles Morales,
Yeah. So they do have some in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of all these, like, villains getting their own movies, especially for, like, less, like, Joker's an exception because he's, like, a big A-list sort of villain. But someone like Kraven the Hunter, barely any people would know about that. Or know about that character.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good way to get that character exposed. But this just looks like another, typical Sony sort of film. That's just pretty average, and Venom, first Venom was R-rated.
Oh no, I don't think they made it R-rated by the end of it.
Oh yes, because I was very mad about that. Yeah. So at least they're doing something right and learning from their mistakes, and like if they're going to put villains, make them R-rated. So and hopefully it works. The premise of this film looks pretty stupid though. I mean, we didn't really get what the thing was. From watching that trailer, I thought it was him getting back at his dad or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know the story.
Leaving him, and then he's like crossing names off a list, but it doesn't explain why he's crossing people off a list for. It's very Arrow-like, but at least Arrow explained why he's crossing people off their list.
I guess we'll have to wait to the movie, but
yeah. So I think this trailer is just more of a here's Kraven the Hunter, learn about him, rather than this is a story about Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah. Well, the marketing for this one has come quite late. I mean,
very late.
We're at the end of June, nearly July, and it comes out in October, which kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
That it's coming very soon. Kraven the Hunter, he's a big Spider-Man villain, but, he hasn't been very present at, movies and stuff like that. So there's a reason why he's not really well known with the audience, and I don't think it's going to translate well to the box office. Aaron Taylor Johnson's not much of a draw himself. Good actor, and I think he does look good in this. At least on like a physical component, he's got the look right. I need to see more from him to really make a full assessment, obviously. But I just felt like an early 2000s superhero movie.
It does.
It's just funny, like the lion's blood like drops into his blood and all this transfusion.
I think I literally laughed at that.
Yeah. No, it is funny. It's like okay, half feels like Morbius, and half of it is like I'm like fuck yeah, like this looks like fun, cool, and it's going to be good. And then a part of it looks like Morbius. And I'm like, I just don't know how to make a distinction on what this movie is going to be. So yeah, I it's good for Kraven the Hunter as a character to get his thing. And it releases alongside the game, so he's in the game. So it's kind of a big moment for him, and it's a big villain character that it's about time that he's coming onto the screens and whatnot. But yeah, as for the movie, I'm glad that it's R-rated. I am excited for it. Cautiously optimistic is probably the better term for it.
I think if it wasn't R-rated, it would be so bad. Like, I think our opinions would just be trashing on this.
Yeah, because they definitely made it, they purposely made it look like it's R-rated, yeah. I don't know how it's going to turn out. My best bet is that it's not going to be good.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah, I don't know what outside of Spider-Verse, I don't know what Sony are doing with their
property.
Just give it up.
I was about to say, do you think they should just sell it off to Marvel?
Well, it's like, I don't know. The MCU has so much to play around with. They got a whole sandbox of like all these like goodies, like all these superheroes and all their villains. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to. This guy's making a loud noise, and we're back for a second time. I'd like to confirm that I saw the mouse Nayan wasn't delusional and imagining it in his head. It does exist. It ran away from me very fast. He's just scratching at something there. But this is just another reason to get us onto video. You're going to see all these antics, whether it's fly spray in the face, whether it's a mouse running away from me. It's always interesting here, at least to be real. But what I was saying is, yeah, MCU has a lot to play around with. Sony has Spider-Man, just that property. And with that, you have a whole gallery of villains. And he's got great villains. And he's obviously got great, supporting characters and story and all that kind of stuff that you can play around with. It's like, I'll ask this to you because I'm undecided here. If Batman was not a part of Warner Brothers or DC, is there enough Batman to just create a universe around him and have all these villains getting stuff? Or would you expect one of those to go out and buy him? Or like, let's say the alternate, say Paramount owns them. Mm-hmm. Would you be like, oh, just sell Batman? Like, just get rid of it. So, because they're probably the two heroes with the biggest, gallery of villains and stories and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think with Batman, he has more well-known villains than Spider-Man. Spider-Man definitely has great villains, don't get me wrong, but just in terms of the general audience and obviously in the comic book pages as well, is that I think he has one of the best, or he has the best villains, rogues gallery ever. So there's always like stories that you can do with that. There's different Batman as well, and then you have like a sort of family side of like, Red Robin, Batgirl, Batwoman.
That'd be like the Miles Morales, Spider-Woman. Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff you can explore with that, but with Spider-Man, you just got Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, Spider-Woman, and then lesser known sort of villains and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Verse showed there's lots of like different Spider-Man to do.
That's true, but I think Spider-Verse is an outlier for Sony.
No, but in terms of adapting it to live action.
Ah, right.
Yeah, like different versions of Spider-Man that they could play around with. I mean, a live action Spider-Man 2099.
That'll be good.
People would love that now because they know who he is.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I guess, I'll probably be in the same boat as you. I mean, if say Warner Brothers owns every single DC character and Paramount's just the one that's not willing to let go of Batman, but if they do, Warner Brothers is going to make fantastic stories.
Yeah.
Me as a fan, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Because I know that the same thing can be said for Spider-Man. I mean, if Sony let him go before Civil War, they could have actually gotten a proper Civil War.
Yeah.
And comic book wise, that is.
The thing for me is that I'm at the point now where I don't even know if MCU would do good stuff with all of the Spider-Man property.
That's true, yeah.
But then Sony's making Spider-Verse, and then they're making all this other stuff. But yeah, and in terms of, villains and getting their own solo stories, Venom, he's not as big as Joker, but he's definitely a massive he's a massive character.
Yeah.
The box office speaks for itself, obviously.
I think he should have been R-rated.
Yeah, it should have been R-rated for sure.
Especially Carnage.
Yeah. But, if Sony can do something special here, because I know we got, I think, Spider-Woman next year or something. Madam Web. Yeah. And then it was Bad Bunny's Almerto.
Oh yeah, that got delayed, and then Bad Bunny dropped out of it.
Dropped out, yeah. So who knows what they're doing, but they got some dates selected. So we'll see what they do with them. Hopefully Spider-Man 4 comes in there, and the other one's probably just Venom 3. Venom 3 for next year.